Okay. Hello, everybody. It is Tuesday, March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. I am wearing green, my green shirt.
Yeah.
Woohoo! I did have a green. So here in Ohio, they do a thing where they turn all the beer green. I'm sure they do it in other places too, but I did have a green beer over the weekend, so that was very exciting. Yes. It tastes just like regular beer, but it is a weird thing. It's a weird thing to drink a very green drink. I don't know. Let me share my screen here. There we go. If you have ever found a four-leaf clover, tell us. I find them all the time, and I thought it was some kind of special, superpower until until it's more of like me being on the spectrum, and it's like the pattern recognition that makes me see them. So yeah, maybe that is a superpower. I don't know, but yeah, I do find them all the time. It's kind of weird. I used to pick them. When I was a kid, I would pick them and put them in a book, and flatten them, keep them. But now I just take a picture of them because I want to leave them for somebody else to find. So yes. So if you've not been here for a while, I think everybody has been, but everybody that's here now, I mean, we are starting to kind of rotate the facilitators for this meeting, if possible. So if there is somebody on the call that wants to facilitate next week, that would be awesome. And if not, I'm happy to do it, but just kind of want to give other folks the opportunity to do it. So if anybody wants to, speak now. And don't everybody jump at the chance to do it at once. Okay. I'll put my name down, and then if somebody changes their mind, totally fine. Just let me know. I'm happy to do it. I don't mind at all. Okay, this is from last week, actually from 2 weeks ago. We didn't have anybody here last week that could speak to this. And I'm not sure who ended up putting it on the agenda a few weeks ago, but I guess we are working with Code for GovTech with the UN SDG working group. So if anybody has more information than that to share, that would be great. If not, that's okay. Okay. All right. Cool. We'll go on then. This is a message from the AI alignment working group. They have a survey out that they would really love our community to take about AI and how it is how it pertains to their work in open source. So you can get to the survey here. They would really appreciate your input on this, and it is because it's the University of Missouri, so I don't think there's any information that they take, like your name or anything like that, no personal information, but if I haven't taken the survey yet, if there is anything in there, it will be protected by the University of Missouri. So there's a very strict, for those who don't know, any kind of survey that goes through a university, there's a very strict process for collecting data on if people are involved, if human beings are involved. There's a very strict process. You have to go through a qualification. You have to be certified to run one of those surveys. And also it's like a very strict process about how the data is stored, how it's collected, all of those things. So you can trust that your information will be safe. Adrian is adding, he's looking for contributors to an AI detection GitHub action. Adrian, do you want to talk more about that?
Yeah, so this is basically a project that I think it's Andrew from Andrew from the package metadata working group and I think we both were kind of interested in the similar idea as far as having a GitHub action that can take basically it can like look for, I think for the first plan, the first sort of initial versions, we're just looking at sort of explicit forms of people like disclosing they're using AI, whether that's like a commit author that is like a known, like, oh, it was committed by Claude Code, or they put like a co-authored by like Gemini or something. Like taking all those various different forms of how you can disclose AI and making that, finding some way to kind of score them relative to like how, like maybe categorize it and make that available to in sort of a more unified form for tools like Augur or ecosystems or any other sort of metrics tools to kind of look and you and ingest into their measurements so that people can kind of see a better picture of sort of metrics in their community around like how many of the PRs that we're getting include AI or to what extent or whatever. Um, so it's sort of just like an exploratory project to try and build a little tool, a code base that can sort of collect this information and also like a Git various wrappers around it for like GitHub Actions, GitLab Actions, things like that. Um, it's very sort of work in progress. I think there's sort of a minimum viable version in the code base right now, but I think both Andrew and I, our primary focus is elsewhere. So having like if people are interested in helping with this, there's a Slack channel. I think we sort of mildly informally have meetings. I've sort of just said like, hey, let's meet every 2 weeks after the Augur 8 not meeting if there's enough stuff to talk about. I think we've had like one meeting so far a few weeks ago, but it'd be nice to kind of see this take off more and do more, like make progress and sort of potentially even be a space for other similar projects to kind of unify and under kind of a Linux Foundation CHAOSS umbrella to kind of help detect a lot of this. Because I know this is like very popular, like this kind of thing is, I think, going to be pretty popular now with AI contributing all over GitHub.
And it looks like it's in Go, so folks would need to know how to write Go. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think for the most part, yeah, that's right. There's probably some amount of even just like reaching out to other pro like helping kind of build the co build kind of get people in the Slack, like some other community building type things. But yeah, I think the main development is probably going to be like looking at the code or finding even, I mean, I guess there's also some like thinking about like how do we look finding new ways to measure like to detect AI and like how do we score it? How do we rank it? Like I think there's some thinking around it, but yeah, the bulk of it's going to be Go. You could always just say that there's most of those things have open issues as well, as far as like, okay,
Hmm.
how do we do a scoring system? How do we present this data? How do we whatever? So I think even just saying like having feedback on the open issues is probably a good summary for that too.
Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Great. Thanks, Adrian. Anybody have questions for him on this? There we go. There's the Slack channel. Thank you. That was going to be my next thing to go find what that is, but you already know. So there it is. Excellent. Okay. The next item, if there's, is there anybody else who had any questions, anything before I move on? Okay. Next on our list is just a reminder that the Chaos board elections are coming. If you want more information, I know Emma, Irwin, myself, and then someone from the Knative community who works for Red Hat is also helping us. Since they have run these elections in their community before, he's kind of walking us through this process because this is the first time for us. So we are building out this FAQ, but this mechanics doc also has a lot of information in it about how, who, when. It's not open yet, but it is coming. So we just wanted to keep giving people the heads up that this is coming. What you can do in the meantime is make sure that you have added your contributions to this file by opening that issue in the community repo. this is the file right here. If you go to issues, you can do a new issue and do a CHAOSS contribution. You fill this out and it will add your name to that list. And then you will have the ability to then vote on in the election and also be a candidate if you like. So just want to make sure people are doing that because that's new for us, and yeah, we don't want to leave anybody out. So the way the system works is it will take your GitHub ID and put it into the system, so it will verify that. And when you log in to the Electo system, that's how you'll do it. So if you don't have a GitHub ID, you'll need to get one. And if that's a barrier for you, we will also have an exceptions form you can fill out, which is also fine. But it would be quicker, easier if you're able to get that GitHub ID. So if that's a thing you can do, great. If not, totally fine. We will have a form for you to fill out.
How many does it take a while before the name reflects? Because while Adrian was speaking, I did fill out the issue, but the
That,
contribution does not yet reflect on the community contributions.md file.
yeah, I will have to merge that in. So
Right.
um,
Oh, I think I might have gone to close the issue because I didn't see that. I was like, oh, maybe it doesn't work yet.
yeah, no, that's been going on. And actually, I think you're probably fine because I think your name already exists in that doc. Um,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, once you're in there, you're good. It does, we do ask for eligibility. So in the past year, you would have had to have been active. So we will look at that, but also you're in here. I'm fairly certain you're in here from recently. So yeah, you're in here. You're good. You're good. But if you want to fill that issue out, feel free to do that.
Yeah.
At least I don't think it does it automatic. I think I do have to still do a pull request, pull request merge.
Edge?
Yeah, let me just try
Okay,
it.
I would just reopen the issue then. Wait, maybe when you get it done.
Let's just go through it once and see what happens.
Mm.
Okay, area project, community management. Today is 2026-02-17. This was community management. Create. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Mm.
Let me see if this went to. Okay. Let me just check with Sean on that because I thought it was supposed to do that automatically. At least create the pull request.
I think you wanted to add something to that.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. Okay. Let me just do an action item here because something got broken. It was working and now it seems like it's not, which is weird.
Thank you.
You can still do it manually if you like. You can still,
Yeah.
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 Anita, you have your hand up, I see.
Yes, this is actually another question I want to ask. But I was wondering, is it an issue that we create here or just go straight to the pull request? Create a pull request straight instead of issue.
Yes, you can totally just do a pull request. Sean made this issue template process to make it easier for folks who weren't sure how to do
Yeah.
a PR. But yeah, you can absolutely just do a PR
Oh, okay.
straight onto
Yeah.
that doc. In fact, that's I think how we started it, and then it was like kind of a barrier for some folks. So Sean made that issue, but yeah, you can absolutely do that.
Yeah, we're going
Okay.
to fix
So
this because it's going to be a lot more easier for people.
Yeah.
okay, so the question I have, can I go ahead,
Yeah.
Olivia?
Yeah. Feel free.
Okay, thank you. The question I have is that so if you make enough code contributions, do you still need to open a PR here?
No. No.
Oh,
It will be it'll be captured in those other places,
okay.
so it's all good. Yeah. Yeah. That doc is mostly
Yeah, I
for
think
like community stuff, something that doesn't show up in a PR.
yeah, that is much. Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with that, so but we will figure that out. Anybody have any other questions about that? Okay. Okay. We are going to be setting up also a separate Slack channel for questions specific for the elections. So you can pop in there and ask whatever you need. You can also ask them just in general channel as well if you want, but we will have a dedicated Slack channel for any questions. Okay, and then oh, go ahead. Did I
Sorry.
cut somebody off?
Can I ask how many seats are open? Is it public yet?
I think there are 6, if I
Oh,
recall from our discussions. I think there will be 6 seats that are open.
okay. Okay.
And I can also share that the voting process will be ranked voting, and we will be linking, if we haven't done it already, we'll be linking to like the math and the algorithm that the system uses to determine who the winners are. But when you vote, you'll see the list of names, and then you can rank, like, oh, I want this person, and then next I want this person, and then next I want that person. So it's not just like yes or no. You can kind of rank who you think would be the best candidates.
I think that's interesting. Looking forward to the election process.
Yeah, yeah. It will be coming very soon. In the next few weeks, we will be giving more information for sure.
Okay. So how is the community management coming for chaos now?
It's a great question. So I got a message from Sean yesterday. So for those who don't know, the funding for the community management position ends this time of year. So the Sloan Foundation has been funding this project for 9 years, which is really something. Like that just doesn't happen too often. To have 3 rounds, because they come in 3-year chunks. So they've been specifically funding this position for 6 years. And so the funding ended. We are really trying to get at least 1 more year of something, some support, some financial support for that function. Sean has been working on that in particular. So I did get a message that they still have not confirmed with him yet, but it's looking promising. We just don't have that confirmation yet from them. So it's been a little bit in limbo, quite frankly. I wish I had more information to share, but I don't. And I don't think Sean does either. We're just kind of waiting on them to let us know what they decide. I can tell you that everything I do has been completely documented, and how to do everything that I do has all been written down. So whatever that looks like, if it's gonna be funded, great. Then maybe we'll have to figure out the strategic plan for the future. If it isn't, then we'll also have to figure out a strategic plan for the future. There are some things this facilitating this meeting, for instance, that anybody in the community can do. There are certain things that like a trusted leader in the community can do, like a working group leader or something like that. And then there are things that only an official kind of CHAOSS representative or board member could do, things like writing the visa letters for folks, like somebody who can officially represent the project will have to do that piece. So it's all ready to go as soon as we get that confirmation from them. So I know that's not a great answer, but yeah. Okay, I'm looking at, I'm looking at these questions. Oh yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Community Open Collective account for crowdfunding. I mean, that's a possibility. Taking over uploading meetings recording to YouTube. That is on me. I'm so sorry, you all. Oh my gosh, that is on me. I'm so far behind on that. I will commit to getting caught up this week. I will commit to that. I am just so sorry for that I am so far behind on uploading those meetings. I know it's been, I know that's a problem, and it's completely on me, 100% on me. Yeah, so here's the thing about automating it, and we have looked at this in the past, because in theory you could, right? Like we could either record straight to YouTube, just live stream it and record it straight to YouTube, or we could share the links straight to Zoom. Those are also options that we have thought about. The reason that we don't have it automated now, and this could change, like if somebody else, I mean, this was from before, so it doesn't mean it has to be like this forever. The reason that we decided not to make that automated process is that we wanted to leave space for a manual layer of checking in case there are like something inappropriate happens in a meeting. There's somebody says something like maybe about their company that they're like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Can we take that out before we post it to the world? Things like that. Like that was a mindful choice that we made back years ago, just to kind of have that layer of like human intervention just in case. But that being said, maybe it is time to automate. I mean, that's definitely a question worth having. The warnings are already there before you enter the meeting. Yeah. I mean, yes. But we've had things happen that we were like, oh, we should probably take that out. Oh, I wish I could tell you, but I feel like that would be rude if I did tell you all, but maybe I'll tell you all as soon as we stop this recording, because it was actually pretty funny, but also kind of embarrassing. So yeah, anyway, there we go. Sorry, that is not a good answer for that, but Boston has a cool system for allowing speakers to clip their own timestamps. And what do you mean by that, Adrian? Tell me more.
So like with FOSDEM, like it's a recorded, like like all the rooms and tracks are recorded, but it's just live streamed. And I think like within a day or two of your talk ending, I guess you as the speaker get sent a link where you can like scrub through and pick like when does your talk start and end. Like if you, just in case you accidentally started a minute late or a minute early from the actual scheduled time, you can kind of define where, because it's like the same process that you would have, that we would, like I've had to do it for Flock. And we might want to do it for CHAOSScon, where like you take the live stream and you clip out the bits that are the individual talks and upload them individually. They just have a system that lets the speaker, like each individual speaker, do their own thing. So it sort of crowdsources that. And so the quicker the speakers are at doing that, the more faster there's like a link available on this talk page that people can just go and rewatch the recording of the talk. I don't know if we can replicate that system, but I think maybe that idea of spreading it around to the different like committee to the different working group heads of like, okay, whoever's sort of the leader of the Augur working group is the one that
would
like,
do that,
presumably is in all the is in the meetings and should be able to tell by just having been there, okay, this was fine to go up. Like I don't think anything sensitive was discussed.
Right. Well, and to be fair, if we so if you tell people, hey, we're live streaming this, I feel like they're a little more careful about what they say. Then it's kind of like a fulfilling thing. Like we've kind of made it clear that if you do say something, it's totally fine, we can take it out. But also that means that people know that, and so that like kind of what do you call it? That kind of mindset is there. So we've kind of done it ourselves. But if we did say, for instance, we're going to start live streaming these to YouTube and then it's just there when we're done, then that's maybe a new expectation that we have for the community. And to be clear, this has to Ildiko's point, who says if this doesn't happen often, YouTube also lets you cut pieces out of already uploaded videos. So things would be out there for a time, but could be taken out if someone asks. And to that point, I think this has maybe happened 3 times. Like it just doesn't happen. Our community is very well behaved. and folks who are working for companies that are a little more strict on things that they share, those folks are already kind of aware of that, and so they're very aware of what they're saying in a public setting and something that's going to be recorded. So yes, I mean, maybe we do just start live streaming things and leaving it on YouTube. I don't know. How does that work with Zoom though? Does anybody know? Has anybody done that?
I'm sure it's probably possible, but I haven't got specific knowledge of a feature like that existing. I know, I feel like I remember Jitsi lets you like live stream to YouTube. I think that's what the Fedora design team used to do or does do. But
You
I
can just
imagine
use
switching entire platforms is not in the cards.
just use OBS. It's that's what you do, and then stream it to any platform.
Yeah.
But then that
Yeah.
requires someone in the meeting to be streaming, and then that's sort of independent from Zoom's recording. And so you might be streaming, but you might not be recording it in Zoom, and then you might not get the disclosure that it's being recorded. So
I
that might
see.
be a bit tricky, I think, but
Oh yes, okay.
that is kind of an option I have used as like a nuclear option in the past, though, for like
Yeah.
recording meetings. Like, oh, Zoom is breaking. Like everyone's like, we're going to record this, and everyone's like, it's broken. I'm just like, I'm going to fire up OBS and just do a quick and dirty recording.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, how about if I take a look? Oh, sorry,
You're good.
whoever I'm doing that to. I'm so sorry. I'm try not to get in your way. Okay, wait. Let me just put it out here. Okay. I'm gonna move you down. There we go. Okay. I'll just look and see if there is like a Zoom plus YouTube like integration for live streaming, or like what is even out there. Because I mean, yeah, now that we're chatting about it, it does kind of seem like a little, a little bit of overkill. Like I don't know that we need to be that careful anymore. Like, yeah.
Even if there's like a way, I wonder if it would be helpful, like if we can find maybe like a Slack integration for Zoom, where like, I don't know how we can necessarily associate a Zoom meeting with the Slack channel, but like have it so that like once the recording for this meeting is available, it would ping, for example, a general channel for this meeting, or like the Augur channel for an Augur meeting, and be like, hey, the recording's available, and that would kind of be a signal for whoever to click the link and maybe upload to YouTube. Or I don't know if there's a way we
Yeah.
could even automate it beyond that, but
I mean, that's a good question, is can we, because the recordings are all there. They're all there in our Zoom account. They're all listed as like CHAOSS Community's personal meeting right now. And so that's another thing that takes time, because I have to click on the recording, figure out which one it was. And then I like manually upload it to YouTube with the little icon, the little thing, add all the metadata to YouTube. In the meantime, I wonder if we could like just internally share the Zoom link, because we don't get rid of those. They stick around. At least they have been. I guess maybe we couldn't do that indefinitely, but we could share that immediately in the Slack channel for those folks who are just, in that small community. And then then share it broadly on YouTube, like because I would do it every Friday is what would happen, and then I just haven't been because I've been super busy. But that way, at least the folks who are mostly, interested in watching that video would get it earlier, and then the rest of folks could get it a few days later.
Actually, that's an interesting idea of like doing it on Friday, because I wonder if that could solve the like need to make emergency edits problem where it's like as soon as it's available, it slacks it to whatever group. That's probably gonna be the hard part.
Yeah,
But then maybe there's like a time delay of like, okay, 5 days later, if the process wasn't canceled by someone with the authority to do that,
yeah,
it's gonna automatically upload to YouTube. So
yeah,
like there's a buffer so that if someone like watches the recording and is like, this shouldn't be in here, like the process can be stopped. But it's the default setting is just automatic so that it's not someone like your responsibility to go in every Friday and do it. And then it's like you get busy and you forget, and it's all the human things that cause that to fall, like that process to sort of be fragile.
yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Um, yeah, that's a really good idea. Because we do have, like in the YouTube, it's, for the descriptions, they're pretty much the same. They used to not be the same. Okay, bye, Mary Blessing, see ya. But now I kind of just say, hey, you can find the minutes to this meeting with this link. Full stop. Like that's all I put in the description. So, yeah. I used to, when we had like 3 meetings a week, I was able to, expand a little bit on the video, but now that we have like 12 to 15 a week, it's a lot more. So it's like a lot less time spent crafting a beautiful description of these videos. But I like that idea of like automating it, but also allowing for that human intervention if needed, which is rare, frankly. So. Yeah, honestly, like that is one of the most, I think the reason that I am so far behind is it's one of the most time consuming things I do, but like the least impactful really. I know people are waiting for those videos, but like there are other things that kind of take priority over that. So that always gets pushed kind of towards the bottom. So sadly, but now it's kind of, it's a thing. It's a big thing. So yeah, that's on me for sure.
Yeah. I'm not immediately able to find like off the shelf existing things that can do this, but um, I imagine it probably wouldn't be too crazy for, this is me signing myself up for more things, but too crazy for someone with my level of software development experience to just vibe code and code review some little like scheduled task that just goes and like checks the meeting. Because I think I was also
Yeah.
looking into whether there's like a Slack bot that can, because I know like I think
Yeah.
Chaos experimented before with just meeting reminders.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
since we don't use Google Calendar or Microsoft Calendar, like there's not really a clear off the shelf. Like I would have thought that there would be a
Yeah.
like ICS, like it can just take any calendar
Right.
format and just
Right.
process it, but I guess not. So maybe we could work it into that of like you get the like just have our own custom bot or something that just does
Yeah.
meeting reminders and then like detects when the like, hey, we know there was a meeting that just happened. Here's the Zoom, like maybe we can somehow associate it with the Zoom link in our like a custom system. And then
Yeah.
like so then it would have access to our Zoom, our Slack, and our YouTube, but then it could kind of manage that.
Yeah, and I believe that all of those things are using the same email address, which is the Chaos Gmail. So that might actually work. Because that's another problem that we had with the calendar integration, with the team up in particular. Although it's all under the Chaos Gmail, it's like its own system. So it will only like that's the email we use to administer the platform, but it will only integrate things that are on the Chaos Gmail calendar. So it was not, yeah. It doesn't work the way we would want it to work. We'll just say that. We'll just say that. The out of the box
Are you stuck with
integration
Zoom?
from Team Up. Yeah.
I think
Are you-
the idea of switching away from Zoom is maybe like I think if there was a solution that required switching to Zoom, I think that would be a lot harder to adopt in one shot. Like I think if
Like
we had
Discord?
like, I mean, Discord's probably arguably a little bit more proprietary and
No, it
weird
does
than.
everything you're saying with a bot. You can do it perfectly, and it's exactly what you're talking about. It's and the calendar integration. It's way better with calendar integration, and for video calls, it's a way smoother service than Zoom or Google Meet. Um, but
I don't know if they
again,
do recording though, and I think they've
yeah,
also
they
got the
do.
weird age
They do
verification.
recording and streaming and everything. I guess I'm in Canada, so we don't have to worry as much about the age verification stuff.
Yeah, that's interesting though.
Discord's just the reason it gets poo-pooed is because China owns it, right? Like you're sending your data
I
to
didn't know
another.
that.
Yeah, like China, Tencent owns Epic Games. Like they own most of the companies. So, like you that's the only difficulty. But this isn't self. You guys use Slack anyway, so you're already giving everything to Salesforce. Like, so security doesn't seem to be a big concern. So Discord covers all those bases. I don't know why more people don't use it, but I think it's because
Yeah.
it's a gamer platform. But
I mean, it seems also like a lot of it too is more of just like this is what the community is already established on, and I think that
yeah,
there's going to
totally.
be when we switching anything, there's going to be a drop-off rate of some percentage of people that just don't like either aren't really active in the Slack or
Oh yeah.
don't feel like using Discord or whatever. And so I think any major migration we make like that is gonna inevitably lose some fraction of the community, and how
Yep.
big that fraction is
You
it sort of
can't think of
decides
it
on.
like that. We live in the splinter web. You have to think that you have to cover multiple communities. You just have to cover all three. I run the makerspace locally, and we're a 13,000 person town, and I can't get everyone into Discord. I can't get everyone on Signal. I can't get everyone into a Telegram group. I can't get everyone. So I have three platforms I have to use, and even then, Facebook's how I end up having to contact most people, which is sad, but it's the state of what we live in. But for what you're talking about, the recordings and stuff, you can also just stream this to Discord as well. So like that's where one of those things like OBS or having someone manage the video, people can attend the same meeting from Discord as they can from Zoom.
So one of the things I've been experimenting with a little bit, sort of just because I know with some of the Augur maintenance stuff, we do have a Discord server that sort of came out of some of the research origins of Augur at the University of Missouri. And so there's a maintainers chat on there, and then there's a private Slack channel for maintainers, and like they were both kind of separate. But I got a bot set up recently called MatterBridge that would bridge the two. I've used it before in other communities to do something similar to kind of what you're saying with juggling different communities and groups. Um, part of me is now curious, like, could we use that and maybe have a Discord server where we run that bot that you were saying, and then have just a one-to-one channel, like the general, like all the channels that are in Chaos Slack are bridged to Discord so that the bot can kind of run and like anything the bot shares gets sort of bridged back to Slack, but it's sort of a hacky solution, but it kind of could work if we want to just use the off-the-shelf bot.
It's definitely hacky, but it grows the audience. But it's just irrelevant. It covers a lot of the bases. So, but it is so hard to push people to a new platform, and I don't want to push that topic.
Yeah, we should definitely chat more though, like if you're interested in like it sounds like you use a lot of the platforms that I think MatterBridge might support. So I don't know if running a
I'm on
bridge
every single
between.
platform. Yeah, I for my last job, I had to set up a streaming service so it streamed to every single platform because that's what they wanted, even though they didn't know why they wanted it. And I did it, and it was quite amusing to see my computer almost melt by streaming to like 32 platforms at once through Streamlabs OBS. It was cool to be able to realize you can put yourself on everything really fast. It's kind of cool, but yeah, it's kind of different than this.
Looks like we are almost out of time. Great conversation. Thank you all for helping me kind of think about this and bringing these ideas up. I love it. I love these ideas. We can certainly talk about it more. Like we would not decide anything right away for sure. But yeah, these are great ideas. I will look into the Zoom. I'm also going to double check on the issue adding to the contributors doc, make sure that process is working before we open the elections. Any other questions we have before we kind of shut down here? We do have a couple of reminders about CFPs. If you haven't submitted and you would like to, that's how you can do that, and when you should do that. And they're both good conferences there.
Just don't beat yourself up for not uploading, because the whole point of these things is to come to them, right? So
Hey, there you go.
Yeah. That's never beat yourself up for something that you haven't done yet.
That's right. It was completely on purpose. The idea was to motivate people to come in person. Yes,
Yeah.
that's 100%.
The world's stressful, and we're still just cave people. So
Yeah, we're just doing the best we can.
Yeah, Elizabeth, you've been doing great actually, keeping it
Oh,
updated.
thank you. Thank you. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing. Thanks everybody for showing up. Appreciate your input and your voices today. You have some great ideas, so thank you for bringing them. And we will see you here next week, same place, same time. See y'all later. Have a good one.
see ya. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.